Hey guys, welcome to my channel Made by Mackenzie, and today we are going to be talking all about crocheting while traveling. This is going to be two parts. The first part is going to be crocheting while flying, and the second part is going to be crocheting while driving. So let's get into the video. So for this video, I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. This did not go how I was hoping it was going to go. I have had such a bad experience. I've lost video footage. I have had a horrible flying experience, and it has just been absolutely terrible. It's been so bad. So please forgive this video kind of being a little bit choppy, because you'll have me, future me talking, and then we'll go back to my past self, and it's going to be kind of out there, so please forgive me. But I did want to be completely honest with you guys and completely open with my experience with this so that I can help anyone out there, because I really thought about not posting this video, but I figured that I wasn't being completely truthful, and that bad things do happen, so figured that I would post it. So anyways, my husband went to Orlando for a business trip, and we decided that because what else is in Orlando? Universal, and that was something that we had always wanted to do and experience because we love those sort of things. And so we decided that my husband will drive there to Orlando with his rented company car with the stuff that he needs for his conference, and then I'll fly out to meet him as soon as his conference is over, and then we'll spend the next week there in Universal. And so we're looking at flights, and we decide that we are going to fly Frontier. I know, you are probably yelling at me, why in the world did we choose Frontier? And in our minds, because we had thought about it, we're like, okay, in our minds, we are just flying there, and then we'll drive back together after our trip is over. And what we'll do is I'll pack up my suitcase and everything that I need for our trip at Universal, and I'll send it with him in the vehicle, so I don't even have to bring a carry-on to the airport to fly Frontier, because you have to pay for that. So we're like, you know what, this will be fine. The plane ticket from DFW to Orlando is $65. I mean, let's do it. I mean, plenty of people fly Frontier every single day and do not have a problem. So what are the odds that, I'm going to have a problem? Well, yeah, we did have a problem. So for the day that I went to travel for our flight to Frontier, I had to get to the airport quite a few hours early because my mother-in-law was the one who was going to drive me to the airport, and an appointment that was very important actually popped up kind of randomly on her schedule. I'm like, okay, it's okay. You can send me to take me to the airport a few hours earlier than normal, and I'll have my crochet stuff, and I'll just crochet and wait for my flight. Not a big deal. It's okay. So I will show you a clip of the things that I was able to crochet while there. So I will insert that in here. I was able to make a penguin, a yellow triceratops, and a little Pikachu keychains. I figured that when flying, to pack my thinner yarns, so I packed all my Big Twist Posh yarns, and I just took them out of this skein and kind of wrapped them in kind of a smaller, more like 50-gram ball, like pretty small, because I wasn't gonna completely take all of the yarns I had, but just enough so that I can crochet, there and on the plane. So we did that, and we were getting ready to fly, and then this happened. I'll insert the clip of me. Okay guys, so I am not in Orlando right now. I am back at my mother-in-law's house because Frontier kicked me off the flight, or they booted me from the flight. They changed their plane to a smaller plane, and I was one of those people that didn't have a seat and got kicked off. So they have another flight for tomorrow, but I'm really upset with them because in my mind
I checked in at the time that I was supposed to check in. So check-in was at 7:45 p.m. On the app, and so I immediately, as 7:45 hit, I checked in. So I feel like I should have gotten one of those seats that opened up because I was one of the first to check in. But apparently that's not how it works, that it's random, and I am kind of upset about it. So, but let me show you what I did get done after the yellow Triceratops penguin and the little Pikachu one. I did another Triceratops, this time in gray. I tried to do a kiwi with the colors that I had. It's looking a little weird. The green is definitely too green, but that's okay. It was still funny. And then I started making some flowers. So I made a couple of sunflowers. And then I made one daisy kind of flower. So that was everything that I made in the two and a half-ish hours of being at the airport waiting for a flight that I was not allowed to get on. So tomorrow I will be able to get on the flight that I am supposed to get on to, because they don't kick you off the flight twice. So I will have a seat that is assigned to me and no one can take my seat. But unfortunately, because of scheduling with church that my mother-in-law is going to tomorrow and her meetings, I again will be getting dropped off probably 3 hours before my flight actually is ready to be boarded, because that's what we have to do, is what works with her schedule. And I mean, I'm just so upset. I had the opportunity to get one of those like the emergency seats in the emergency rows, and I had this prompting from higher up that I should do that, and I ignored that prompting, and now I must live with the consequences of not listening to the Holy Spirit. So I will know for next time to listen to the Holy Spirit whenever it gives me those promptings. But anyways, everything's gonna work out fine. I talked to my husband about our Universal trip, and we were able to just kind of scooch everything back a day. So everything's gonna work out fine. We're still gonna have a fantastic trip. I mean, this trip is actually supposed to be for our anniversary, since he was out of town during our last anniversary, or this year's anniversary. He was out of town, and so I'm like, let's go, whenever you go to your conference in Orlando, let's just go to Universal. He's like, okay, and we'll make it as our 8th year anniversary is going to Universal. So, but again, I'm not upset with him for missing out on our anniversary. What he does for work is really important, and I'll probably talk about that in a later video. But anyways, I am gonna get some sleep and get up and do the whole thing again tomorrow. We'll see if I need to restock maybe a little bit of my yarn, or if I'm going to crochet at all, or if I'll decide to do like read my book or the word search or not. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, so I went back to the airport again, had to get dropped off early. It's fine, I can crochet. So while I was waiting for my flight, I did make one of my little ducks in a hat. I made 2 of them. Ducks in a hat, two little ducks in a hat. And then I also made a mallard duck. I think I'm gonna add a little tuft of feathers or whatever on the top of his head. I think he needs a little something on the top of his head. But I made a mallard duck. And then I started to make a penguin, and then stuff started happening. I got on my flight. I was on the plane sitting. We were about to leave, and this flight was the one that was heading to Houston first and then to Orlando. I had a layover there. And we're in the plane. We are pretty much like pulling away from the airport, and they come on and say that we need to deboard the plane because of the weather that was happening in Houston, because the hurricane was heading its way. But honestly, like, that hurricane wasn't supposed to get there until like later that evening, like 10 o'clock at night. And so in my mind, I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated with Frontier. And I know they can't control the weather, I know it. But they said that we were going to be delayed until like 4:30, and my flight to leave Houston to go to Orlando was at like 5:30. So there was no way that I was going to make that. And they're like, "Oh, it's probably delayed anyways. Like it'll be fine. We'll get you to where you need to go." And I was asking the person at the front. I was like, "I was supposed to be in Orlando last night, Sunday night. Saturday night. I have got to get there by tonight. You need to do something to help me." And they're like, "Oh, well, then our next flight from here to Orlando is Monday, and that'll get you in Monday night at 7, da da da." I'm like, "No, I need to be there tonight. You guys need to help me get another flight, either on another airline or something, please. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. You kicked me off that earlier flight, and you said it was all crazy." And so I'm on the phone with my husband, and I'm so frustrated. I'm crying. I'm like, "Nathan, I do not want to do this anymore. Like, what is going on? Why is this happening?" And I'm like, "Why can't they get us out to Houston now while the weather is not that bad? It's not bad. It's supposed to get worse like way later tonight. Like, we should be able to go into Houston no problem and get flights out before the storm hits." I don't know. I just, all these emotions and things were going through my head. I was so frustrated. And my husband's like, "You know what, Mackenzie, I'm absolutely done with this. I'm done. I've looked up online. There is a Southwest flight flying directly from DFW to Orlando that leaves at like 5:40. So we're gonna pay the $300 to get you on that flight, and I want you here with me." Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, because we'd gone a week without seeing each other. You know, we're supposed to be kind of celebrating our 8-year anniversary, and so that's what we ended up doing. I got on one of those sky buses or sky trams or whatever, and quickly went over to my other terminal to try, and Nathan is on his laptop typing in all the information to buy my ticket right then and there, and he sent me the email with my boarding pass, and I was able to get on that flight and fly to Orlando. So after all of that happened, I really just was not in the mood to crochet. Like, I sat on the plane as it took off, and I started to kind of finish up the penguin, but I'm at the point where I need to add his safety eyes. And just thinking of just my luck and everything that's been happening, I was convinced that if I were to pull my safety eyes out of my bag, it would have completely, like, we would have hit turbulence and all the safety eyes would have gone everywhere. And I was absolutely done. I was just so drained with everything that had happened. Get it. Oh, get it. There you go. So, don't ever fly Frontier, ever. It was absolutely ridiculous. And you're like, "Why did you fly Frontier?" Like, people fly all the time and they don't have a problem. It's just like, I wanted to give Frontier the benefit of the doubt. And that is never going to happen again. They have definitely proven that they're not a good company to fly with. And I felt really bad for the flight attendants and the people at the Frontier, like, reception area, because I'm sure they were super frustrated as well. I mean, I was trying to be as, polite as possible to them, because I know this was not their fault. For the most part, the weather, but I can't do this anymore. So don't ever do that. So I didn't get as much done as I was hoping, because, like I said, I just was so drained and emotionally just tired, and I just could not wait to get to Orlando to be with my husband. So all on the flight, I just watched like Hawaii 5-0 videos. That was all I did, because I was absolutely done. I couldn't crochet or I would have probably made any more mistakes and made a mess. And so anyways, but yeah, flying while crocheting was an experience. So the one thing I do want to mention, like if you are going to fly while you're crocheting, the one thing that people get scared about is their scissors. So TSA says that the scissors blade needs to be 4 inches from the pivot point. So where it actually opens, the pivot point, it has to be 4 inches from there to the tip of your scissors. And mine were 3 inches, and then I also made sure to bring some that I didn't really care if they did confiscate. So just make sure like that, but like the needles, like your little darning needles and stuff like that was totally fine. Stuffing, totally fine. Like everything was fine. Like the only thing we were kind of concerned about was the scissors, but just as long as you keep them in the size that they say, it was absolutely fine. But yeah, so that is everything that happened. If you guys have had experience crocheting and flying, make sure to kind of leave a comment down below to maybe make me feel a little bit better that not all experiences are like this. And yes, so. But anyways, this next part is going to be crocheting while driving, and I'll let you know that it was a whole lot better experience than with flying. So be on the lookout for that video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!